Hi pretties, we're going to start this off by going all natural. It's tough for a lot of women to go without makeup, and I don't fully trust you yet, but I think in order for you to trust me, you have to see the whole process. So we're going to start with foundation, the base layer, because that's the most important part, in my opinion. If you don't have a good foundation to work with, you are stuck. So first things first, you want to start with a moisturizer. So I use Cetaphil. It's just this daily facial moisturizer. It does have SPF in it, so that's good. I have really sensitive skin. I get little issues here and there, but I have a really good routine that I just figured out, so I'll share that with you later on. But yeah, you can get this at any store. I think it's about $10 or $11, so pretty reasonable. It's a good size, so it lasts for a really long time. The second thing that I do is I use this Visible Lift CC cream. I read all about CC creams. It's something that apparently is all the rage. It's supposed to help correct color and tone. So as you can see, I can have a lot of different colors on my face. So this should help a little bit. This one's in light to medium. I think this was $7 at any store that you want to go to. So that's a good option for you. So you're just going to put probably about this much on your finger, and you're gonna just put it across your face and then rub it in like lotion. So these have little beads in it that activate. It's kind of funky, that kind of have color in them, so it helps even out the tone in your face and kind of gives you a little bit of something to work with. For me personally, it's not enough for me to go out like this. Maybe in the summer or something when, you know, you're tan and your skin's all working out. Obviously, rub it a little bit down into your neck. My grandma always taught me you want to moisturize your neck because everyone can always tell how old you are by the skin on your neck. The other thing that I start using is, and this is all about beauty on a budget, and I have to reapply my makeup like 4 times in a 7-hour time span just for my work, being a news anchor. So I deal with it a lot, and I have to have something that's good coverage. So if you have some issues, what I do first is I use, this is Physicians Formula Conceal RX. And so this right here is going to give you maximum coverage. And because I do have some problem areas, is because I am on TV, I try to do it before and after in my like problem spots. And I try to do a little bit of a highlight area like down my nose so that it helps kind of contour in an effective way without being overdoing. So dab the concealer on, and then I just work with my finger because I'm not trying to be super precise yet because I'm going to put foundation over this. So right now you can kind of do it this way. Whatever works for you though. You can use a brush like this too, like a concealer brush if that works better for you. So yeah, you're just going to work your concealer into those areas. A lot of people have dark circles under their eyes. Don't overdo it. You don't want your eyes to be like glowing. That's super creepy. So just work it in those areas. Make it look as natural as possible. Get rid of all those problem areas. My chin is probably my most annoying part. So get rid of those areas. So voila, no more redness. For my foundation, I use, and again, so this is Physicians Formula, so I think it's like $6. So good buy, and it is honestly the best coverage concealer that I found out of all drugstore concealers. I've tried Maybelline, CoverGirl, you name it, and I don't know why, but this Physicians Formula concealer, it's a natural light. It's just good stuff. So go out there and get that. So for my foundation, I have 2 different ones that I alternate kind of between. Depends on my skin days, but this one's an acne fighting foundation. Yes, it's e.l.f. So these products are super cheap. And not cheap as in quality, but cheap for the price. So this is about $6 for this one. This one is, it has salicylic acid, witch hazel, tea tree, and aloe. And anybody that knows me knows that I love tea tree oil. This is in buff. So if you have skin tone kind of like me, light to medium, this is a good one to start with. And this is the other one that I use. This is e.l.f. Flawless Finish Foundation. And this one is in sand. And this has, this is oil free and it's an SPF as well. And I'm going to use this one today because I like this one better. I feel like it has a little bit more coverage and causes me a little less skin irritation as well, just because it doesn't have all the like salicylic acid in that. But this one is good coverage, and about $6 at, I think you can get it at Walmart or Target or whatever. So usually I just put a little bit on my hand, probably about that much will do. And then I use this small stipple brush. So this is also an e.l.f. product. Big whopping $3 brush here. It's got these little baby hair fiber things that you can see. So this helps get your foundation on easily. I was using more brushes like this, and I started to hate them because seemed like it was giving me lines and making my face just not look uniform. So I did away with that. So I do this kind of in circular motions, like the range of my face, how the direction it is. You know, if it's on my forehead, I'm going to kind of go back and forth, but in a more circular motion. So on my cheeks, I'm going to kind of blend it upwards. But make sure that you get it in your neck area as well. The worst thing that you can do is have two different shades, right? And I have that situation all the time. So make sure you blend it. It's really important. So you're just going to want to start. I don't know why I always start on my right side, but I do. Wherever you start on your face is fine. I always make sure that you go back into your ear area too, because that area right there, I feel like is a culprit for people that forget that they need makeup there. And I put it everywhere, and I even put it over my eyebrows, which are pretty much non-existent. I put it everywhere just because it kind of acts as a primer too. Like if you are filling in your eyebrows, it works really well if you're gonna do that. So that's a good little tip too. So you keep going all over the face, which is exactly what I did on the other side. You're going to want to kind of go uniform, and I do both cheeks first, and I kind of do over my lip line a little bit because I want to use lip liner to accentuate my lips. I don't necessarily want to use, you know, I don't want my natural lip to be the base layer, so I kind of go over my like main lip line so that I can kind of draw where I want it. I don't Kylie Jenner it by any means, but I'll show you lip tricks someday. You'll have to stick around for that one. See, it's a little tease. So yeah, just go around with your little stipple brush and make sure that you've got all your areas. Make sure you go for the hairline, ladies, because that's not a fun one either, to have two different colors. Because guess what? You can see your scalp a little bit under your hair. So get up in there. Don't be afraid. Don't overdo it. But a good thing too, something I've noticed about a lot of foundations, like especially Neutrogena, it oxidizes. And what that means is that like later on in the day, have you noticed your foundation gets darker? It's because your skin will oxidize, the foundation will, and it'll actually change tones based on like oils and the air and everything. So I don't know if that's a technical term, but that's what I believe. And I believe if you say anything with confidence, people will believe you. So it oxidizes. But what this doesn't do is, this I noticed doesn't really change color, throughout the day. So that's a good thing. Okay, so now we've got more of a uniform color across the area. Obviously this lighting is super beautiful. Look at that. Oh yeah. Okay, so we've got a flawless finish, right? So now I usually go back over with my concealer, and try to figure out which little areas need a little extra love. So a lot of times I'll go back under and I will use this little concealer brush. You can use whatever you want. This is just some Target, you know, $4 concealer makeup brush or whatever. So yeah, go under your eyes a little bit, but again, don't overdo it on your eyes, and don't use something that's substantially lighter than your natural color, because some people overdo it and they have like this, almost look like the sunglass tan line kind of thing. So no good. I would strongly recommend against that. Okay, so we're going to keep doing a little bit of concealer, right? In these little areas that are your problem areas, I just kind of like pat it in, and you know, I don't have any special way of doing concealer. I just tap it on there and then kind of pat it in so that it's not necessarily like overbearing, and you don't want it to be something that stands out. You don't want your concealer, you can't tell where you put it. That's what you want. Okay, so to set my makeup, what I do is I use a really, really expensive This is Rimmel Stay Matte. This is my like favorite translucent powder that I found. This one's called 001 Transparent, and this is literally $3. And this will last like a pretty good while, for me at least, and I think it's worth it, since I have to reapply so often, it's worth it to me to have this kind of makeup. So then I just take this and kind of put it all over the place. Excuse me. So you are setting your makeup here. So you want to do this before you contour or do your eyebrows or anything like that. But some people like to do their eyes before their foundation, which I've started doing a little bit more, just because I don't like my face being on top of my hand being on top of my foundation while I'm doing my eyes. So sometimes I don't, yeah, sometimes I do my makeup first. So, and let's see. So there's that. And so that is my base layer of my foundation. Very uniform, no bronzer, no nothing. You can see it blends with my neck. And you can probably do all of that with under 20 bucks. So pretty good. I know a lot of people that spend, you know, $40 on their foundation and stuff like that, and I just can't. So, and I'd rather